Hi everybody, my name is Abraham Saivisi, and this is the video for the results team's user story number 2807 follow-up video. So in the previous video, I demonstrated the actual implementation of the user story. I showed the state of the platform before the user story was implemented on the currently deployed BreazeHome platform online. And then after the user story was implemented, I navigated through the platform that is hosted on my local machine. In this video, I'm going to navigate through the code modifications that took place to allow for that user story to be implemented. So I've reverted back my local machine to how it was prior to the user story implementation. And if we navigate here to browsing all properties and to the results page, we see that the three main acceptance criteria that we had were number one, that it should be properly aligned, which it isn't. Number two, that each element should be clickable, which it isn't. And number three, that these results should be sortable, which they aren't. As we see, nothing takes place. So now going one by one, to deal with the first one, which is the alignment issue, surprisingly, after many hours of going through the code base, I narrowed it down to actually one line, which is there is a CSS negative margin that was being applied. If we open up here, I can show you the exact line is right here. It was a negative margin that was being applied. If we remove this line, we wait for it to reload, we'll see that it's all fixed. After much research, I minimized the change to just that. So that's for acceptance criteria number one. For acceptance criteria number two, that each element should be clickable, that too surprisingly was very concise code. If we open up to the results HTML page, here is the HTML template basically that goes through an Angular loop, an AngularJS loop that allows us to iterate different instantiations of this template, one for each property. And basically here we have to add a Angular click property, which just takes us to the method defined in the results controller, which is click card, and just navigates to the preview page for that specific property. So once we've implemented this, we can reload the page. And we see now that each item is clickable. And lastly, for the issue of sortability, that too required a change to that element. Actually, it requires us two filters because of a previous feature that was also implemented in which logged in users could hide specific properties. We also implemented this filter. So we have basically the sorting filter, and we have the filter that allows users to hide their properties. After implementing these two, we basically have a sortable results page. Go here, from low to high, and as we see, everything is properly sorted. Even though the changes to the code were extremely concise, the amount of research and trial and error that it took was vast. Although I'm glad that I managed to narrow it down to minimal code changes to be able to implement this user story. So that is the gist of it. This is our team's contact information. Our product owner is Dr. Masood Sajadi. Any questions could be directed to him. Thank you so much for watching.